Hey everyone, today we're gonna check out the neural DSP Quad Cortex, and I'm gonna show you how I approach things when I dial in a bass tone using this fine piece of gear. I'm really excited about getting the chance to finally do this video, well, enough of me jabbering. Let's get to some bass playing, shall we? I'm running the Quad Cortex straight into Logic through the SSL 2 Plus from Solid State Logic. I'm using my Fender Precision Bass from 1963 with Rotosound Billy Sheehan strings on it. I'm using only the P pickup in this video, and that's pretty much it. Bass, cable, Quad Cortex, computer. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that I like to do when I'm, tweaking out a tone and, getting things started is to make sure that I'm in Stomp Mode. As of now, we are already in Stomp Mode. If we hit that one, we can toggle between Stomp Mode, Preset, and Scene, and we want to make sure that we're in Stomp Mode. You can also press these two buttons, and you magically go between the different modes. Stay away especially from preset mode when you're doing this. I've been using the Line 6 Helix for quite a few years now, and it's always a drag when you accidentally hit a preset changing button and your entire day's work is gone because you forgot to hit that save button. So with that being said, let's hit the save button and save this bad boy. Before we get started, let's call this let's call it a demo, and let's tag it with bass. There we go. So the preset is done and ready to be shared on the cloud if we wanted to, but we want to have some more than just a DI tone. So the first thing that I like to do once I've saved the preset is to get access to row 3 here. That gives me more DSP power and allows me to do some parallel routing and altogether nice stuff. So let's first up, let's hit the output block here and select row 3. Now there is no sound coming, but as you can see here, it says previous row. So let's just click here and select output 1 and 2, and we're back in business. Great, let's hit the save button. Always save, kids, always hit that save button. It will save your life and your presets. So now first up, we're gonna go through the different compressors. So just hit the line and all of the available devices appear. I'm not gonna use any neural captures in this video. I should say that before we get started. I'm gonna leave that for a separate video. It's not that they're not awesome and actually pretty easy to use. I just want to dedicate a full episode to neural captures, and in this one I'm just gonna use the stock amps, cabs, pedals, you name it. So with that being said, let's get to the compressors. So here we have 5 different compressors. We have the Jewel, which is based on the Diamond compressor. We have the legendary 87, which is based on the 1176. We have an optical compressor. We have the Solid State comp, which is based on an SSL compressor. And we have the VCA comp. Let's start with Jewel. And as you can see now, as we are in Stomp Mode, it has been assigned to A, so if we hit the A switch, it gets bypassed. So it's easy as that. This compressor is pretty straightforward. You have your compression knob, you have an EQ knob, you have the volume, you have a high cut, and you got a mix in case you want to go with some pretty much parallel compression with some nice clean uncompressed signal going along with your compressed one. What we're gonna do now is that I'm gonna go through the different compressors and just show you what they sound like out of the box. And there is actually a really nifty feature for doing so. You see this knob up here. If you twist it, you actually go through the different models that you have available. So I'm gonna play the same riff over and over again with the different compressors. There's gonna be some volume difference, of course, But yeah, it will give you an idea of what the compressors sound like out of the box. So for this preset, I'm actually gonna go with the Uwell one. It's really easy and straightforward to use. There are not too many options for you to get confused by. So let's use that one. Let's dial back the compression to, like, let's say 4.4. Or let's leave it here. So the EQ knob can really do some cool stuff as well, along with that. Somewhere around. Somewhere around here, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, hit the done. That was the compressor. Next up, let's go for the amp blocks. So let's go to row 3 here. I have my reasons for that. I'll show you that in a second. So before we add the amp block, I'm actually gonna add a cabinet as well. I'm gonna go with the 810, which is the, you know, classic Ampeg fridge. As in the Neural DSP plugins on your computer, you can tweak out the microphone position, the distance, the level, and the penetration. As you can see here, the leftmost cabinet is blue, and so are these knobs, so that you can, you know, really know, so that you can know which speaker that you're actually tweaking out. And as you can see, these are yellow and they correspond to the lowermost ones. I'm just gonna go with this. Setting right now, I'm not gonna do too much about that. And as you can see, it's been assigned to B. It's already a pretty decent bass tone. That's nice. So let's go to the different amps, shall we? Here in the bass department, we have quite a few different amplifiers to choose from. These 4 ones are all different versions of pretty much the same amp, but you will hear that they have quite different sonic characters to them. So with that being said, let's go through all of the amps the same way that we did with the compressors and see what they sound like. So for this, I'm gonna bypass the compressors, that we only get the bass amp and the 810 cabinets. So here we go. Sorry. And just for good measure, let's engage the compressor and go through the amps one more time. So for this one, I'm gonna go with the first one, the amp flip top 6464. Gonna increase the master a wee bit so that you get a wee bit of dearth on it. So that's nice and tasty. Next up, let's add some dirt and distortion and overdrive. So when we do that, let's go to the bass department, and as you can see, we have 4 different ones to choose from. We have first up, we have the BDDI, which is a Sans amp. You have 2 dark glass pedals, and you got the Soviet Fuzz, which is the what's it called? The Big Muff. Sorry. So without further ado, let's go through these 4 as well. The BDDI. Let's tweak it a bit. Let's keep that one. Let's bypass it. Let's hit the save button. Let's go to the second one. Let's go to the Microtubes B3K. Dial back to blend a bit. Let's keep that one as well. Let's go for the third one, the VMT, the Vintage Microtubes. Tweak it out a bit. Nice. Let's bypass that one. Let's leave it there. And now let's go for the fuzz. And with the fuzz, I'm gonna do something a bit special. I'm gonna go to the second row here, and I'm gonna add it parallel to the upper one. And the reason for that is because this one doesn't have a clean blend. But you can still adjust that by holding down here and entering the mixer and just, But of course you want some clean tone with that, so let's dial it back up, shall we? To 0 dB, there we go. And let's add, let's tweak it a bit. Nice. Now we have the fuzz dialed in, pretty okay. Let's bypass that one. As you can see, all of these blocks have been assigned to a different foot switch. If you don't want that, let's say you're never gonna bypass your amp block, just click that little cross over there and it's unassigned. You can no longer bypass it by pressing C. Let's do the same with that one as well. So there we go. So right now I can bypass all of these fine pedals with these different foot switches, which is nice. Next up, I'm gonna add what every bass player needs. Every bass player needs a good octave pedal. So I'm gonna add just that. I'm gonna move a few blocks as well so that we get some space for that. Hang on. There we go. Remember to always save, kids. That's important. Let's add the Octaver here, the Poly Octaver. So now we both have an octave up. And of course, a massive octave down as well, which is really nice. I'm just gonna leave it for the sub. Great, now we have an octave pedal as well. That was really easy to tweak out. So last but not least, we're gonna make some scenes with this. So let's go into scene mode. This is scene A. Is your a bit driven, but still somewhat clean bass tone. And now, as you can see, if I hit this switch, all of these blocks get engaged. So just disengage them. And let's say that this one, the preset E, is our normal, ordinary, clean bass tone. Now let's do like this. Let's hold this one down and press there. Now it's been copied to preset F, and let's do the same over to G, and let's do it all the way to H. Now for E, let's have a clean tone. For F, let's have the Octaver and the fuzz. For G, let's have, I don't know, let's say the Sans amp. And for H, let's have the B3K. So now when I hit these different scenes, I can toggle between, a clean tone or, somewhat clean. Let's dial back the master a bit and clean it up even more. There we go. The reason why I went into Stomp Mode there was that if I were to do that here in scene mode, as you can see now, it's been assigned to change that parameter when I'm switching scenes. So when I go to scene F, it goes back to being 1.0, sorry. So I can just click that button and it unassigns that parameter. But when you're tweaking out the basics of your tone, I try to always be in Stomp Mode. So with that being said and done, we have now dialed in a pretty decent, bass preset. there you go. That's how I basically dial in a bass tone from scratch. Of course, there are so many more things that you can do with this unit, and this is merely a scratch upon the surface to show you some of the cool features that you have in it. Now that I have this preset dialed in, I want to upload it to the cloud and share it with my friends. I used to do like that, and it's up on the interwebs, as you can see there. It's up on the cloud now, which is amazing. So yeah, that's the Neural DSP Quad Cortex on bass. So this is my very first video of the Neural DSP Quad Cortex here on YouTube, and with bass. I'm gonna do a ton more videos, of course. I really enjoy using this unit, and I want you to tell me what you want to see me do with this one. I'm gonna do a dedicated episode on neural capture as soon as possible, maybe even tomorrow. No, well, I'm not gonna upload it tomorrow, but I'm probably gonna, start shooting it and whatnot. I've done quite a few presets already with neural captures of my own and of some of my mates. So yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future with me and the Neural DSP Quad Cortex. So with all this being said and done, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you guys and gals and cats and dogs in the next video. Until next time, take care. Bye.